Ladies and gentlemen, hockey fans of all ages, we are 5 days away from the start of the 2019-2020 NHL regular season. It is a new beginning for some teams. They start a new era. Some teams are looking to get up after a disappointing end to last season. Some teams are showing that they are better than what's expected. And if you're the St. Louis Blues, you're looking to repeat your Stanley Cup championship reign from last year. My name is Randy Dillon. Welcome back to another edition of Randy Talks Hockey. With 5 days away from the NHL regular season, the RFAs from this summer have signed. Only one left. One is unsigned at this moment. What we're going to do in today's episode, I'm going to break down some of these signings, and then we'll go through my thoughts and predictions of who I think is going to make the Eastern Conference playoff in this upcoming season, and why I think these other teams will not. And then maybe a quick glance of what teams I think are going to be surprising, disappointing, and my prediction of a 2020 Stanley Cup final. So with the RFAs, there's only one left unsigned, and that is Kyle Connor of the Winnipeg Jets. Mikko Rantanen just signed recently today. Matthew Tkachuk and Patrick Laine signed earlier this week. Now with Tkachuk and Laine, they signed bridge deal, but a little pricey if you ask me. Tkachuk signed a 3-year deal worth $21 million, a cap hit of $7 million. I think that's a little too much, but the Flames and Matthew Tkachuk made it work. In 3 years' time, Mark Giordano and Johnny Gaudreau's contract will be expired, so they'll have cap space. But here's the funny thing is, in Tkachuk's final year, he's getting paid $9 million. That's going to be a starting point of what he wants in his next contract. That's very similar to Brock Besser. I can't remember what he's getting in his last contract, but the heavy amount. Like, this is ridiculous. These kids are getting paid. Someone on Twitter said they're getting paid before their UFA years because they're showing what they're worth now. But still, you got to earn. You can't just say 3 years in the league. You are putting up good numbers, but still, I'm debatable on some of these bridge expensive contracts. Patrick Laine signed a 2-year bridge deal worth $13.5 million, a cap of 6.25. Now, this year he did digress. His point total and goal total did fall off. I know the year before he had 46 goals last year. This year he had 30. So he has something to prove here. But the Jets, they are in a mess. So when will Kyle Connor sign? I think with Laine signing and Mikko Rantanen to Tkachuk, it's only a matter of time. But I've looked at the rumors and reports. They're saying they're far off, but who knows? And you got to look at when Big Dustin Byfuglien's going to come back. If he doesn't come back, that defense on Winnipeg is going to be awful. Now, if he does come back, the Jets will have about $7 million in cap space to get Connor re-signed. We'll see what happened there. But Joe Sakic is the winner of these signings, ladies and gentlemen. He signed Mikko Rantanen to a 6-year deal worth $55.5 million, an average cap hit of 9.25. That's more than what McKinnon makes. Rantanen is the top player on the Avalanche. But this deal, you got to think about. It's long-term, 6 years. That core group for Colorado is together, like Calgary, where they have their core groups together. And there's no extra bonuses. You look at this, and not like the construction to Tkachuk or Besser deal where they're going to get paid a lot of money in their final year. You got to make sure they're worth that. So good job on Joe Sakic. The other thing I'm going to quickly touch with the Avalanche, I was a little surprised with Bowen Byron get sent back to the Vancouver Giants. I really thought Byron's going to say that's a big reason why they trade off Tyson Barrie, but I believe the Avalanche, they have faith in Cale Makar. I hope they do. He's in my fantasy pool, so I hope he does good for me and the Avs. All right, now I'm going to give my predictions of the Eastern Conference, what teams I think are going to make it. Similar to the Western, I'm not going to say who's 1, 2, 3 from the division. Just going to say who's going to make it, and then go through the wild card, and then say why the other teams I think will not make it. In the Atlantic Division, I don't think there's going to be any surprise. Boston, Toronto, and Tampa Bay once again are going to make it. These are 3 good teams. This is the same order as been the last 3 years. Florida, I think, gonna push, but not as much as these teams are just built out very well. Now, each team did lose some pieces. Tampa Bay, they lost Strawman, but they added Shattenkirk. They traded Miller, but they got Pointressard. Boston, they did lose some depth in Achari. The deadline acquisition, Mark Johansson. But I think a full year of Charlie Coyle is going to be very good for the Bruins. Going to help spread out the offense, take some pressure possibly off David Krejci and Bergeron. And they got Brendan Carlo and McAvoy signed to bridge deal, which I like these bridge deals. They're not worth $6-7 million. McAvoy about $5 million, Carlo's about $3 million. And a couple of years they'll have cap space. So those are what you call bridge deals. The Leafs, they added Tyson Barrie, added Kerfoot, added CC, they added Jason Spezza. They look better, but this is a big year for the Leafs. As I said earlier in a lot of past videos, other than Morgan Riley, every other defenseman does not have a contract. The Leafs got to figure out and get it work. And I think if they don't make the conference final, Babcock's going to get canned. The media is high there. And then you have the situation with Austin Matthews. I know a little bit off topic about what he did, pulling off his pants, and now people are calling him Captain Underpants and all that. He's a 20-some-year-old. They do stupid things. We were all 20 at one point. But the fact is, he didn't tell the Leafs. They found out this way. Not a good news. I think the seed's most likely going to go to Tavares. If it was going to go to Matthews, we'll see. But this does not look good. All right, let's go over the Metropolitan Division. Now, this is very interesting because I don't think a lot of teams are separated in Metro. A lot of the Metro teams got better. A few got worse. And you know which one I'm talking about if you follow my other videos. But we still got to give our predictions anyways. All right, the first team I got to think who's going to make it from the Metro, it's going to be the Washington Capitals. They still got their core group together from 2018 Stanley Cup. I think the loss of Niskanen going to hurt, but hopefully guys like Nick Jensen, Kepme, going to step up. I think Christian Juice is going to step up, and I hope Todd Reardon coaching can help. I'm not a big fan of Reardon. I wish we still had Trotz as a Capitals fan, but who knows? Maybe he'll do a better job this year. The second team to make it from the Metro, I think it's going to be the Carolina Hurricanes. I know I've talked bad about Carolina Hurricanes, especially with James Reimer, but they look to be good, especially after last year. They still have a good defense. They added Jake Gardner. They got Carl Stromson from the Blues in the trade for Justin Falk. That was a big win right there for the Hurricanes. I think Mrazek is going to be good for 50-plus games. Hopefully Reimer can pick it up. They added Eric Halla. If he's healthy, especially with Vegas a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, he put up about 60-plus points. So I'm not worried for the Hurricanes. They will make it. And the final team from the Metro who can make it, I'm going to go a little bit off a limb here, and I'm going to say the New Jersey Devils. Ray Charles did a good job to improve this team, adding PK Subban. You look at that top four on defense. You got Butcher, Severson, Vatanen, now Subban. Drafting Jack Hughes helps. Will take the pressure off Nico Hischier. And then you add Wade Simmons, some toughness to play with Jack Hughes or Hischier. And then you add Nikita Gusev, who Vegas had a lot of high hopes on. I think is going to do a good job, help the scoring go along. A lot of pressure won't be on Taylor Hall. Hopefully healthy. If you were signed, who knows? And if they can get some good goaltending from Mackenzie Blackwood, if Corey Schneider can return a little bit to that form he was a couple of years ago, I think the Devils will make that playoff. Now, the wild card. The first wild card is a no-brainer. It's going to be the Florida Panthers, ladies and gentlemen. The reason for the Panthers, they added Bobrovsky, they added Strawman, Joe Quenneville, their coach. Added depth in Brett Connolly. Still have Huberdeau, Barkov, Daganov, Trocheck, and Hoffman. Frank Verrado. They're still a good team if you look at Florida. And the pieces they add, this will help them take them to the next level. The only reason why they're in the wild card, it's going to be hard to beat out the Leafs, the Lightning, or the Bruins for one of those Atlantic spots. The second team to make it, now this is a tough one because a lot of teams are fighting for it. It could either be the Islanders, the Penguins, the Rangers. These teams could fight for that final third Metro spot along with the Devils. And then you got the Habs and you got the Sabres. But I'm going to go with the Penguins. Crosby and Malcolm still there. They can still put up points. I think they're going to have another good year. Maybe Murray can stay stay healthy, play good. The big question is defense. Don't be surprised they fall off and miss the playoffs, but it's hard to bet against Crosby and Malcolm. All right, why the other teams in the East will not make it? Ottawa and Detroit, they're rebuilding. They're going to be a couple years away, so I don't see them making it. The New York Rangers, I like the moves they've done. Add Panarin, add Trouba. But my only and then you're adding Kakko Cape, but my only concern is their goaltending. Lundqvist is getting no younger. Alexander Gushevich gonna have to play 40 good. Gonna have to give them some great goaltending. Last year was a .500. He needs to be better than that. And if he's not, the Rangers won't have a chance. The Islanders, I like the Islanders, especially what they did last year. My only problem is they can't score. It's not going to be because they don't have Robert Leonard or the defense. Varlamov's going to do fine, Islander fans. The problem is, unless Barzal and guys like Nielsen, Lee, Eberle can pick up their game like they did last year to another level, I don't think it's possible, other than a guy like Barzal. Without scoring goals, you ain't going to make the playoff. The Buffalo Sabres, they're interesting. You know what? Every year they've done a lot of good things, but can they get it together? That's the question we're waiting for Buffalo. Can they put the pieces together? The Montreal Canadiens, they were so close last year, but they did not add any big offensive moves to help this team. Ryan Polak not going to start the Poulet's not going to start the season due to injury. I know they have a healthy Shea Weber to start the season. Carey Price is going to be good, but he's going to have to be heart good if they want a chance to make the playoffs. And the Columbus Blue Jackets are not much to say. Lost Panarin, lost Bobrovsky. They still have a good defense, though. Seth Jones, Zach Werenski, David Savard, Scott Harrington, Ryan Murray. You got Weinberg, you got Dubois, but you lose your star power. It hurts. We'll see what Gustav Nyquist can do. I don't know. Now, before I go, I'm going to give you my predictions of a 2020 Stanley Cup Final from the East. I'm going to go with the Lightning. I think after years of disappointment, they're still a good team. They're hungry. I think this year they're going to go to the final. And then from the West, I'm going on a limb here. I'm going to go with the Dallas Stars. Remember, they were one goal away from beating the St. Louis Blues. They added Pavelski. They added Perry. I think Bishop's going to have another good year or split the load with Khudobin to be healthy. Anyway, that's all I got, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, hockey starts this week. I hope you're excited as I am to see what teams are going to surprise us and what teams are going to disappoint. Surprising, I think the Canucks are going to surprise. I think the Devils, as I said, possibly the Devils are going to surprise us. The Dallas Stars, the fact that I think they're going to have a good offseason and regular season. And then teams that are going to disappoint, I think the Penguins are going to disappoint. The Sharks are going to disappoint. And maybe the Hurricanes will disappoint, but I don't think they're going to disappoint that much. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, hockey starts this week. Preseason's on still, so watch some hockey to get familiar with your team, see who's going to get cut or not. Remember, this week, make sure you're watching some hockey.